Blog Talk Radio.
Hello out there, everybody. Good afternoon. This is David Domzalski, founder of the Financial Bin and host of Financial Bin Radio. Before I introduce you to our guest today, let me remind you about Entrepreneur Intervention, Triumphs and Failures of Entrepreneurs. The book debuted in November 2011, and so far we've received some great feedback regarding it. We're looking to get Entrepreneur Intervention into colleges and universities as part of their curriculum, and are in talks with a few at this time to do so. You can pick up your copy for just 99 cents on Apple's iBookstore, on Kindle, Nook, and on Sony Reader. It's also available in paperback at Amazon and CreateSpace. Go to financialbid.com and click on the book section at the very top, next to the login button for more information. Now let me introduce you to today's guest. He's a good friend of mine from high school, and his name is Ed Sheppard. Ed is the Director of Business Development for HomeCare Specialists, a caregiver placement service based in Ocean City, New Jersey. Ed, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
No problem at all, buddy. Let's get right to it. First question I have for you is a little bit of background about you. Can you give the listeners a brief description of what you're doing prior to your current position with HomeCare Specialists?
Yes. Prior to this, I was actually in finance. Was an investment banker. Got out of that right before the market collapsed. Then went to work at an internet startup company, which was a very interesting experience. And then I, about maybe a little less than 2 years ago, moved back here to the East Coast to help out with the family company, which is HomeCare Specialists and Bonded Babysitters. Excellent.
So you say it's a family-based company. So how'd you become the Director of Business Development? How'd you end up getting that position specifically?
Frankly, that's what we needed. The business itself operationally was doing good. However, just like a lot of companies nowadays, we need to see an increase in sales. So that would be the number one function. What I had to do is increase sales. However, it being a family company and a small business, there's naturally no limit to what I would have to do. There are some days where I am the office electrician. There are other days where I am the office HR manager. Other days where I'm the payroll specialist.
So the chief cook and bottle washer
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
would definitely fit that description. Gotcha.
Yeah.
So can you kind of tell us about HomeCare Specialists? Tell us about the company and then how you kind of got into the babysitting business with Bonded Babysitters. How was the business founded and how does everything work?
Well, HomeCare Specialist has been in business now for over 11 years. As you mentioned, it is a non-medical in-home care for the elderly and disabled. It's based in Ocean City, New Jersey, and for your listeners who aren't familiar with the area, Ocean City, New Jersey is located in Cape May County, New Jersey, towards the very southern end of the state, and has a very large elderly population as part of its year-round population. Those of you also are familiar with the Jersey Shore know that in the summertime, the population around here grows by about a factor of 10 as people come to enjoy the beach. So we were looking at it. We were a business in a resort area that focused towards the year-round residents. So we're open year-round, but we're really only tapping into about 10% of the potential customer base. And we were trying to think, how could we tap into this market? Because every business is trying to grow. We're trying to grow within our core, but then we were thinking there has to be a way to tap into this other market. When a mother and father bring their kids to Ocean City, obviously we can't, do anything about that, and that's the majority of people coming to where our business is located. So we really went through and tried to figure out what need was being unmet that our assets could actually provide a service to. And we went through, and when we decided on babysitting. It was the same concept as the home care. We go into someone's home. They have to have someone who is trusted. We already have an apparatus set up to run background checks, to train people, and to send people into the home in the state of New Jersey because we have the licensing for that. So we identified that need because, frankly, babysitting most of the time is someone in the neighborhood, the girl down the street who has been there for the past 10 years, her father, hey, come watch my kids. It's a way for her to get spending money. In a tourist resort area, you don't have that. You don't know the girl down the street because you're only here for a week or two. And we're 20 minutes from Atlantic City. There's a lot of a lot of places where adults can go outside of Atlantic City, bars, great restaurants, so there's a need for it. So we identified that need, and we decided we're going to go for it. While every other business in our industry is just trying to grow their core, we're going to grow our core, and we're going to expand into a new market niche that we believe has been underserved.
Okay, so now as with your position as Director of Business Development, you kind of touched on a little bit what your responsibilities are. Now, just focusing on specifically for business development, what have you seen work for you guys, and what has not worked? You know, you're a small business. Mm-hmm. It's a very unique and specialized industry and market that you're catering to here. So what's worked for you guys, and what hasn't?
Okay, well, I'll start with the babysitting because that we were able to. It's more easily trackable, so I can speak a little more intelligently about that.
Sure, that's fine.
For the babysitting, it was something new to us because being a year-round business, we've never really had to do that whole marketing blitz just when someone's here during the summer. For the home care, we at least knew from a marketing perspective what we had to do. The babysitting was brand new. And it wasn't just brand new, it was night and day compared to the marketing we were doing before. So we did try a couple of things. Internet and social media, electronics were a big part of that. But we also did go a little old school. We did have a bunch of flyers printed up because, again, we had maybe a week at most to reach our customers because they're maybe only here for a week. So any places in Ocean City that had high traffic, foot traffic, supermarkets, Wawas, we printed up just the old school rack cards, old school flyers, put them up in there so people could see them. They were cheap. They're not going to win any awards, but they were effective. One thing we thought that would be very effective is a welcoming bag given to anyone who rents a property on the island. They receive a welcome bag with a bunch of businesses' information on them. We thought this was great. It was a way to reach 26,000 people. It didn't work. I could tell you the exact number. We got 26,000 flyers. We got 6 customers.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
That was something that I thought you were going to tell me is one of your successes. That's interesting.
Well, I thought.
What do you think?
Sorry, but I thought that would have been a success too. But that's something where we had to learn from it. We thought it was going to be a great idea. It wasn't, and rather than sit here and rather not admit that we were wrong, we had to say, you know what, that didn't work. So we know that for next year, we shouldn't do that. 6 out of 20, 6 clients, 26,000 tries. I mean, that's a worse success rate than I have with women. So yeah, we're going to pass on that in the future.
I'm just going to leave that one alone. But you mentioned social media briefly. So how has new media, the internet, other technology? You mentioned that you guys were using QR codes at one point in one of our discussions, and you're looking into developing an app for iPad and for Droid and things like that. What has specifically worked for you guys in terms of that aspect of marketing?
Yeah, the electronic side of things exceeded our expectations. Going into the summer, I was projecting about 25% of our business would be as a result of the internet, and it turns out in actuality it was about 40%. Wow. And it was you really just can't point to one thing saying, oh, it was Facebook or it was Google, because they're all interconnected now. We had a lot of the media that we received. Even in the traditional print medium, they have online versions of that, which got put into Google, which got shared on Facebook. We have a Facebook page, which we were able to effectively use not just to get new customers, but to communicate with customers. If you recall the earthquake that we had during the summer, sure. It didn't cause a lot of damage, but what it did do was knock out the cell network in Ocean City. Which wouldn't be a big deal because our business has landlines, but all of our customers use cell phones. So we actually went and sort of a combination of technology. We used Facebook, and the cell network was down, but the SMS wasn't. So we used Facebook and text messages for the remainder of the day to coordinate with clients who had already booked to let them know that, the cell network is down, your babysitter's confirmed, they will be there. When we used the social media to let all the local media outlets know we're still operational. Anyone who followed us on Facebook knew that we were still operational. we posted up on the Ocean City Chamber of Commerce's Facebook page, which has like 500,000 followers. We're operational. Do not worry. If you cannot reach us, it's because the cell network is down. However, you can text us. Text this number. And it was
I love that.
Yeah, it was really neat, and that actually led us to the need that we have to have a backup plan because of something like that if we can't rely on the cell network. And over the next month, I developed it so the entire babysitting booking process, to first call to paying the bill, can now be done on my iPhone.
Oh, fantastic.
So if the cell network is down, all I have to do, literally, I can drive somewhere to where there is a cell network and the business is up as soon as I get into range.
That's what I love about social media and everything, from QR codes to apps and everything. I mean, the smallest of businesses, I'm not saying that's your business, but, businesses, a guy just sitting in his, with his computer in his house can now be reached by all these different mediums. And, if a disaster or something like that were to occur with, cell phone reception going down, there you are. You can still maintain your contact list, your businesses, your appointments and everything. I just think that's fantastic. Now you kind of touched on media coverage a little bit. How has the company, I guess maybe kind of focus your answer on Bonded Babysitters. How has the company been received in the area? I know you guys recently received an award. What other media coverage and what other press have you received regarding that?
No, we've been received very well. As you mentioned, the Ocean City Chamber of Commerce awarded us the 2011 Outstanding New Service Business Award for Ocean City, which we were very honored and humbled to get, because it's there's a lot of businesses here in Ocean City that they could have picked. They picked us. People seem to react very positively to what we do, because as I said before, it was a underserved market, and we found a new way to deliver that service. So people have been reacting positively, also because our business is unique in the sense that it helps other businesses do business. By providing that service, if we watch parents, if we're watching children, that lets parents go out to restaurants. If we're watching children, we can take them up to the boardwalk and go on the rides or go play mini golf while their parents do something else. And that's business that would not have happened unless we were watching those children. So the people around here have really opened up to that, because they know that if I'm getting a phone call, they're going to be getting a phone call a few hours later.
Absolutely. No, that's a good point. I guess I didn't think about it, about how you're helping a restaurant, you're helping even someone going picking up a pizza at Mac and Manco's, or someone going and grabbing an ice cream cone. You're helping out that business as well. I guess my next question would be, Ed, kind of transitioning a little bit. What are your plans for this year and kind of going forward, both for HomeCare Specialists specifically and just for Bonded Babysitters specifically too?
Well, for HomeCare Specialists, we are always looking to expand. We have a much bigger footprint than the Bonded Babysitters. We currently service all of Cape May and Atlantic counties, so a good chunk of southern New Jersey. What we're really looking for HomeCare Specialists is, again, we're looking for a year of good growth this year. We feel that consumer confidence is now growing. We've been getting more aggressive with our marketing. We've been hiring. I'm happy to say that our workforce has grown by about 20% over the last year.
Wow.
Which is something a lot of people really haven't been able to make a claim to. So we're really doing as much as we can on the home care front. We really like to it's a business where we just want as many clients as possible. And
sure.
To do that, it's difficult because it's an indirect selling model. Mm-hmm. I can't go and say, hey, you need help. I go to doctors' offices. I go to rehab centers. I go to senior centers, make our information available. So it is a bit of a challenge in that aspect. I have to have myself positioned in as many places as possible, so when a need does arise, my information is there for the person when they need it. For babysitters, it's a direct marketing model, much more direct. For 2012, we are expanding to all of Cape May County. We're expanding beyond the Ocean City footprint. We felt the experiment in Ocean City worked, so we'll be expanding. You mentioned about the QR readers. Yes, we're now utilizing those. It's interesting there is a lot of people use the QR readers to go directly to their website. We're trying something different. We're taking it directly to our Facebook page. I feel that, because on any print material, I can put the website on there. It's going to show up in Google if you Google us. But if you visit the website, I don't have no way to capture you as a client or capture you as eyeballs. If I send you to Facebook, you can immediately like it. And boom, you're captured. I have a way to communicate with you. If we're running a special, to let you remind you that we're open during the year, open during first night, open during Easter, during Christmas. So that's one plan for the QR readers. You did mention the applications for the smartphones. We're looking into that. The problem is they are very cost prohibitive. They're not cheap to develop.
Yeah. No, yeah, I know. I've looked into it myself.
Yeah, so but this is a thing where, again, we ran into this with the babysitting. We run into it. Any small business owner runs into this. We do not have unlimited resources, at least monetarily. I believe that most entrepreneurs do have unlimited resources between their ears. And it's just the way, okay, if I can't afford to write the check, there's other ways to do it. There are 2 great community colleges within a 20-minute drive of Ocean City. I'm sure there would be a college student up there who would love to get college credit for writing us an application.
Oh, yeah. That's
a win-win situation. And, we're a small business. I have no problem driving up there and hearing 20 no's as long as one person says yes.
That's the kind of approach you have to take. This is just something that came to me and what you were talking about there. Have you guys given any thought to maybe making maybe HomeCare Specialists, or I guess even buying Babysitters too, maybe franchising that at any point? Is that something you guys have mentioned or talked about in your inner circle?
It has been in there, but for the home care side, we're proud of being an independent non-franchise. We have competitors in the space who are franchises, and we've seen how the quality of care goes down if you're a franchise, because it's the same business model as a McDonald's. It's anyone could just walk up and, oh, look, here's the manual. Let me check the manual about what I have to do. If they happen, because we're independent during the winter, I shovel snow off of people's walks so we can get them to the doctors. We're supposed to get snow tomorrow. I already have my shovel and the salt ready. And that's something where the other businesses would say, well, I have to check the policy to see what we can do. I just say, I'll be there in half an hour. Just make sure that your car's ready to go so we can get you to the doctor as fast as you can. Or that sort of adaptability that you cannot get with a franchise.
Sure. That attention to detail, the little minute things that people don't always look at. Ed, maybe kind of transitioning a little bit. I'm not sure how familiar you are with the financial bin, but we focus on personal finance and entrepreneurship for Generation Y. Now, you're a Gen Y-er yourself, and you're in a business that's a small business, been around for a little while. What is one piece of advice you can offer them, maybe for someone starting a business or someone maybe struggling right now, as an employee for a small business, as a director of business development? Any advice you can offer?
Adaptability. If you're starting something new, whether it be a brand new business or like with the babysitting, going into a brand new market, adaptability. Whatever plan you come up with, there's only one guarantee. It's not going to be 100% right. There's going to be things that you get wrong. There's going to be assumptions that you get wrong. There's going to be things you never even thought were possible that are going to happen. So you can't measure your success by how correct was my plan. You have to measure your success in how was I successfully able to adapt to the problems that came, because they're going to come. You're not going to know what they're going to be. They're going to come. So you really have to not focus on the fact that you got something wrong or focus on the fact that something happened that you didn't plan for. You really have to see about how you were able to adapt to those situations, like we did with our tack bag, the welcome bag, like we did with the earthquake. It's South Jersey. Who's planning for an earthquake to knock out the cell network? No one.
That's a good point.
We had a hurricane, too. Right. in southern New Jersey. And, of course, it came on the busiest weekend of the year, And that was that was a big weekend for us. All of our babysitters were booked. If one more person had called me, I was going to have to, struggle to find someone. And it was our first foray into the wedding business, which kicks off around here towards the later season. And I'll tell you, the scariest thing in the world is having to call up a bride and tell her your wedding's canceled because of the hurricane when no one else has told her this.
Oh my God. Have you ever had to end up babysitting someone yourself?
I try not to because I am the on-call person. I am on call 24/7. If there's ever a problem, I'm the person I want them to call. So I don't want to do that because of Murphy's Law. The one night I have to watch someone is the one night I'll get a phone call saying I'm sick and have to go home.
Oh God.
Yeah.
No. That's a good point. Well, Ed, this is some great advice. Just to kind of wrap up here, how can people listening from the South Jersey area or Philly area, or making plans this summer, how can they get in touch with HomeCare Specialists and Bonded Babysitters?
Okay, we have our websites, www.homecarespecialist.com, www.bondedbabysittersocnj.com. Our phone numbers are on there. It's 609-398-6005. And also the babysitting, we do have a direct email for that. It's bondedbabysitters@yahoo.com. And our lines are open 24/7. We always have a 24/7 call service. So at any point in time during the day, if you call us, someone's going to answer.
Great. Ed, thank you so much. I love hearing about small businesses who are thriving even in this tough economy. So it's been a pleasure, and I appreciate it. Please make sure to keep us up to date and everything that's going on with Bonded Babysitters and HomeCare Specialists.
Okay, I will. Thank you very much for having me on.
No problem. Take care.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. That was Ed Sheppard, Director of Business Development from Bonded Babysitters and for HomeCare Specialists in Ocean City, New Jersey. We will make sure to put his information up there and the websites and everything just so you guys know, especially for those in the Philly area and South Jersey area. I want to thank you guys so much for listening. This was actually a little special edition on a Friday here. My name is David Domzalski, Financial Bin Radio, financialbin.com. Please make sure to check us out. And remember, Entrepreneur Intervention, Triumphs and Failures of Entrepreneurs. Please pick up your copy, just 99 cents. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend.